بالفتنس اندستري كمان في كتير نقص بالانفورميشن اللي خاصة بكل شيء بنلبسه
صح.
وكيف بينعملوا وسبيشلي هنروح على لبنان بالذات لأنه هلا صار في أكتر وأكتر خبرية إنه هون حنحكي موضوع is it actually made in Lebanon or not, is it job shipping, is it يعني كل هالأفكار اللي عم بتبين هلا وبراندز لبنانية وهيك لنفهم أكتر عن this industry within the fitness world. so أول شيء أهلا وسهلا فيك. I would like to take to introduce yourself على السريع.
أكيد. أول شيء توفيق, thank you for having me on. My name is Shadi. ShadiAdada. I own a agency called FittDesign. نحن our core concept is to be the go-to solution for design, development, and production of sports apparel. So we help brands from A to Z with every aspect of their business, whatever they need to turn their idea into a reality. So today, if you have an idea for a brand, you really want to go into the market in a way that is sophisticated, you want to add value to the customer, we will help you with everything. From your brand identity, to the brand concept, to the full product range. We'll help you design it. We'll help you create the website for it. We'll help you sample it, manufacture it, and we'll even help you market it. A to Z solution.
اوكي هلا اللي عم يسمع هلا will see انه it's a well-rounded thing بس انه obviously انضحكت وتعذبت وهيك so بدنا نرجع لورا.
أكيد.
كيف بلشت شو صار؟
How I started with FittDesign is I didn't start with FittDesign. Any entrepreneur that goes into something that becomes their life's work, I believe they stumble into it. I stumbled into FittDesign just as anyone might stumble into something that they really want to do. أنا رحت درست architecture at USC. I did 5 years of that, and somewhere around the second year, I'm like, this is not for me.
اللي ما بيعرف وين هي الجامعة؟
USC, so the University of Southern California.
Okay, good.
Studying architecture, it's something that your parents, they kind of lead you to do. يا بتعمل دكتور, يا بتعمل مهندس, يا بتعمل هيك. We all have these stories. Somewhere around the second year, I realized this is not for me. My heart is not in it, because I've always been a tremendously hard worker. Anything I put my mind to, I cannot leave it half empty. قلت لحالي, okay, طب أنا I am here. Heck, I'm spending all this time, all this effort. I'm learning all these technical skills. I'm learning all of these softwares. I might as well make something out of it. I might as well try to pivot towards something that عن جد can bring me fulfillment. For me, at the time, that was fitness. Asking yourself, okay, what do you do in fitness? Everyone's doing a personal trainer. Everyone's doing, if it fits your macros. This is back in 2013, 2014. I need to do something different. I need to bring something unique to the market if I really want to make a business out of it. Shifted brands like Gymshark that had just started to launch. I'm like, this is different. This is so unique. I've never seen anything like this. They are using people that I can relate to, people that I can have a connection with to market their product. It was so in tune with what the customers were lacking at the time, which is a personalized feeling, the feeling of being a part of a community. So I'm like, I purchased my first set of Gymshark. I'm like, these products are amazing. I feel like a beast in these products. I'm like, okay, this is where I want to go. I want to do something in this sportswear space. So بلشت to use my tools اللي هن AutoCAD. كنت ارسم الديزاينز على AutoCAD. تخيل. Something that was being made for floor plans. I'm using it to design t-shirts, joggers. I have these really weird looking designs from the early days. ومن هونيك شوي طورت انه okay, put a design out here, put a design out here. It developed.
بس هون كمان فكرة مثلا يوم انه حتى هي فكرة انه how to design team. انه some people might tell you انه okay انه do you have هيدي touch of انه fashionable touch او انه يعني كيف صارت هيدي البارت كمان لانه بالاخر لما بتعمل بناية that is هيك كتير بروت طق وادجز وكتير هيك straight to the point مرات as they don't go crazy يعني and then a t-shirt hoodie انه فيها غير ايه so كيف كانت كمان لإلك؟
أول شيء university is a scam. Someone tells you that you need to go to university to learn XYZ. هيدا عم جرب يبيعك a university degree. You can learn anything that you put your mind to if you have the work ethic, you have the ability to go through uncertainty, and you have the consistency to learn, to try. ما فيني أقول لك إنه I was born to be a sportswear designer. I wasn't. What I did was I wanted to go into it and دعكت حالي. اشتغلت حالي. I went through tremendous uncertainty. I worked for free for years. 2 years, $0 working for free. You know, it sounds like لك أنه عايش بالجولاج. لا, بس you're giving all of your energy, all of your effort to learn something. So the biggest piece of advice I would give someone who's just starting off is work for free. على الأقل build up your reputation. Build up the opportunities to get better. So I learned how to do it. I wasn't born with this ability, nor was it something that I learned in architecture school. Sure, some of the skills they translated, but I learned through trial, error, repetition, feedback, evaluating myself consistently.
بس مثلا first of all was it let me try and do my own brand ولا let me knock on doors and tell them guys you know can we try and collaborate and I will create the first brand for you مثلا.
Great question, Anjad. It was the modern day version of knocking on doors. First thing was like, I need to get my work out there. خليني, if no one's gonna pay me for my work, I might as well do it for free. I might as well put it out there and let the public judge. For the first year of my freelancing career, اللي هي fourth year of جامعة, عمري 21 years old, I committed to posting one set of designs, outfits. Like I would put an outfit of the day post where I would design a jogger, a hoodie, a t-shirt, sneakers, a backpack, and a hat. Every single day. And you can go back to my Instagram right now, FittDesign, at FITT Design. You can see these posts back from 2016, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. No matter it was, I had deadlines, no matter I had issues in my life, I would post one of these posts by 6 p.m. and I would tag the brands that I want to work with.
Mm.
There's a brand that I love that really gave me my start, which was called Alphalete. And every day I would tag these people, Christian Guzman, Alphalete. I'm sure whoever's watching this that knows these personalities, they know. They're big in this space. Back then, they were just starting off. I'm like, I want to work with these guys. I'm going to tag them to the point where they want to issue a restraining order because غصب عنهم they're going to work with me.
وشو صار؟ كيف how it happened؟ لأنه لما هلا تفكر فيها أكتر كمان يعني إنه 16 السوشيال ميديا كنا بعدنا يعني للأسف بس إنه today tagging has less opportunities than before.
100%. It's a different game.
حتى sliding into their DMs is different than before وكل شيء وحتى الالجوريثم يعني أنت كيف your page might be you know seen by people like بس شو صار يعني أوكي ضليت تعمل tags ضليت تعمل هول قصص بس إنه eventually there should be this physical meeting to happen. كيف وصلتوا لهذا الشيء؟
I truly believe that the universe will never deny someone who's determined to make something happen. Inshallah, it takes 1 year. Inshallah, it takes 10 years. Inshallah, it takes 100 years. If you have the true mindset, and I want this to happen, it will happen one way or another. Just be consistent at it. So I would tag them. Eventually, what happens is, Christian's girlfriend at the time actually reached out to me. She wanted to do a YouTube intro. She's like, and I love your the posts you've been doing. I love the art style. Can you help me with a YouTube intro? Back then, قال له كان يحط YouTube intro with like ما بعرف like trap music and all this stuff. So this is back in 2016. So we helped her design her YouTube intro.
Okay.
And we did her YouTube intro for her, and I think that was the sort of entry point into.
هون نحن أنت عم تقول كانت رابع سنة بالجامعة.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Do you feel like the pressure, the fact that you still have just 1 year to graduate, it's either I make it now, I will have to go into the field that I'm studying?
It's a really, really good question. I didn't think about it at the time, but I'm sure at the back of my mind, there was that pressure. And yes, it did feel like time was ticking out because at some point, all of this effort there needs to be a return on that. صح? When you graduate, خلاص بدك تروح تشتغل. So yeah, it's a very good question, Tawfiq.
وحتى بوقتها you had to come back?
I didn't have to come back.
Okay.
Basically what I had done is in the US you can apply for a job and you can stay over there. I've always been someone who plans ahead. I'm really meticulous about planning ahead. I already planned my plan B. بس مش plan B بطريقة إنه that was gonna happen. It was just plan B to أرضي أهلي. At the time, there's no such thing. شو اللي بيي حروح أعمل leggings for a living. حروح أعمل sports bras for a living. شو هذا إنه. Funny enough, and I thank my dad so much for this. He was so much more supportive of the idea than I even thought because he saw the potential. He saw the opportunity.
Show his background.
My dad is an entrepreneur through and through. He is someone who has tremendous impact on my life, on my personality,
like
on my
he wanted
character.
to invest in your business.
Zero investment was taken from my father. Zero.
كان عامل مصاري.
Zero. Yeah, he should have. Unfortunately for him, ما زبطت معه. بس he was someone who كتير he thinks like damn. He saw the potential and I was surprised.
هوني كمان لأن you mentioned family وهيك. جربت to pitch to people you know first and see their reactions?
Never.
طب كيف تمرنت to pitch?
Never.
How did you learn how to pitch?
How did I learn how to pitch? بالأمر الواقع. You pitch you're pitching yourself every day بالحياة. Every single interaction is a pitch. Whether it's a pitch to get a girlfriend, whether it's a pitch to get an investor, whether it's a pitch to make a sale, you're always pitching yourself through and through. So I learned through trial and error, through trial and error.
حتى when pitching with the big ones.
Yes, of course. And I think what happens is, this is probably a question that you're asking because there's so many people, ممكن بدهم يبلشوا, they want to capture these big clients. They're so intimidated. You should be intimidated. You should be. You have nothing to show for it. I put in 2 years of foundational building, of building my CV, building my portfolio, working for free, eating shit every single day, so that by those 2 years came, حسيت حالي على القليل I have something to back it up. When I speak, the words that come out of my mouth are authentic and true. This is what I encourage people to do. Don't go out there and act like something you're not. You're not that yet.
Were you at this time more confident about your communication skills or the quality of your product as a first?
The quality of the product. Always start with the product first. Always start with the
يعني ما
product.
كنت عم تفكر إنه I get the project then من
No. That's a very good question as well. Again, if anyone is watching this is my personal opinion. And I'm not trying to preach to anyone. This is how I personally see the world. It's worked for me. ما بعرف, maybe things are going to crash and burn. I hope not. They won't. I won't let it happen. But this is the way I see the world. If you speak, but you are not in tune that you can back up those words, they will not come out authentically. So focus on the foundation first. If your business is a service-operated business, then what is the service you're offering? What is the add value? Fix your services. Fix the solution. Fix the way that you deliver it. Fix the pricing. Fix the offer. If you're offering a product, make it the best product that it can be. Let it stand on its own 2 feet. So whether you're a great salesman or not, على القليلة you have something that you believe in that you're going to sell.
كيف تعلمت budgeting؟ كل شيء خاصه بالكوست، كل شيء خاصه بالبرودكشن بروسيس، كل شيء خاصه بالريتيرن اون انفستمنت، كل شيء يعني كل هول الفورمولاز that we
the business
know.
foundation, the fundamentals.
كيف؟
These are essentials for any business. How I learned them is through trial and error. أكيد I could have learned them faster and more effectively, but I learned them by doing them. I learned finances by discovering إنه أنا أول سنة I need to file my taxes. طب I need to have a proper books.
Especially in America, you can't. ما فيك تغلط.
هلا أنا my first year of official business was in Lebanon. This is we can get into that in a second, but you learn by having to do it, and you learn كمان بتحمل مسؤولية حالك. The world isn't going to come to save you. No one is going to come tell you حبيبي أنت تعال خلينا أعمل لك your books. غصبا عن رقبتك بدك تقعد بدك تتعلم. Yeah, you need to hire someone. You need to get a consultant. Yeah, you need to read about it. Yeah, you need to just go through the pain of learning. So how I learned was just by doing, by needing to do it, by putting myself in the deep end and choosing to do it and understanding that no one was going to come save me and do the work for me.
As a first step كانت لأنه حكينا شوي بس إنه to understand better. كانت first step, let's start with shirts مثلا. The shirt design is the shirt is there and you buy it from a supplier but you design it ولا كمان الشيرت was
Good question. My focus was always to help brands build custom product. I never worked on blanks. I never worked on جيب ضاع من الصين طبعها هون في 50,000 واحد بيعمل لك إياه. This for me was not the solution to the market that I want to provide. When I saw Gymshark and I saw their tracksuit, they had a Lux tracksuit, Luxe. It was phenomenal. I'm like, wow, this thing is like fits me like a glove. I feel like a king in this. This I knew it doesn't exist in Alibaba, or at the time there was not even Alibaba. There was no like واحد جاي من تركيا عم يطبع لك عليه. I'm like, no, this is something that has been custom made. This is something that's being offered to the market in a unique way. This is what I want to offer people that don't want to go through the hassle of learning design, learning technical detailing, learning sourcing, let me fill in that gap in the market because there is going to be a greater need for this in the next 5-10 years.
وبتعتبر كمان لأنه يمنشن هول الأسامي إنه معنا علي بابا وكل شيء حتى أمازون وهيك نزعوا شوي فكرة الديزاينز. لأنه ناو إنه فيك مثل ما أنت قلت فيك تجيب كونتينر شيرتس يعني بيصير واحد هو بيبيع شيرت يعني بس بيبيع لنفس البراندز نفس الشيرت بيصير كل البراندز نفس الشيرت you find no difference. بس هيدا صار غلط كمان يعني يوم the quality shirt should come before the design of the shirt when it comes to fitness. لأن اليوم إذا حألبس هيدا التي شيرت كتير حكينا عن تي شيرت حننط على غير قصص إنه إذا بيخليك تشوب كتير تعرق كتير إذا منه comfortable تحت هون this is not a good fitness shirt. فكمان هيدي الفورمولا نزعت شوي الإندستري.
توفيق I'm not romantic about the way the business should be done. I believe the market who will speak through its purchasing power. If something works, people are going to buy it. If something doesn't work, people are not going to buy it. فعلي بابا Amazon ما نزعوا شيء. They're just supplying a need in the market of people that want to buy clothing at a very, very affordable cost. They don't care about the brand. They don't care about the functionality. But there's other brands that are highly tailored, highly specific brands. They have a community. They have a concept behind them. Each product is made meticulously with the right fabrics, with the right sizing, with the right fit. They're marketed beautifully. They have the right models, the right community. They have the right sales programs. This is for a different market. So the consumer votes for what he wants with his money at the end of the day. So Alibaba is doing something and custom design is doing something else. Each market has its own unique needs.
إذا بنرجع your daily post بوقتها وكل شيء on an actual physical level شو كان your first prototype?
The daily post on a physical level, that's a very nice question as well. The first product that I ever saw turn from a digital design into a physical product was a asymmetrical hoodie that we designed for Alphalete.
Okay.
This was huge because, and I remember the moment where I saw and wow, this business can turn into a real thing. This hobby can turn into a real thing. Alphalete took one of our posts and they reposted them, and it says like 2017 question mark. The idea was, they were saying, oh, like, would you like us to release this? And I remember seeing the response on their Instagram profile. At the time, they had like 200,000 followers or 180, which is huge at the time since 2016. It's like 2,000 comments, 3,000 comments of yes, fire. I موت على الفاير emojis. ما فيني.
وشو صار؟ شو كيف وصلتوا
كيف وصلنا على هيك؟
Manufacturing, production.
So for the first, that specific product itself, I had just designed the digital mock-up.
Okay.
To let your world into a little bit of what it takes to design, develop, and produce something. When you do a design, في شيء اسمه tech pack. Tech pack is like a construction document that is needed to turn that design into a physical product. That tech pack should typically have good mock-ups. It should have some fabric specifications. It should have some sort of sizing guide, a technical sheet that shows all the measurements, the arms, the hood, the center back length. All of these things should be included in one technical pack. And then you create the sample, the prototype.
هلا obviously يعني هذا الفايل ما بيروح عند الديلي خياط اللي بنعرفه هون.
No.
مين اللي بيعملون؟
So usually these are mass manufacturing facilities in China, in Turkey, in Europe. There's a ton. There's in Portugal. There's in Spain. Depending on the client's budget, usually it's budget.
But did you guys do like first a sample? يعني
Yes.
مثلا وبصير مثلا واحد بيلبسه على شهرين to figure out.
Yeah, good question. So usually the purpose of a sample is always to test the product in real life. You're testing a bunch of things. You're testing the design. You're testing the fit. You're testing the construction. You're testing the detailing. So yes. هلا شهرين لا ما بنشتغل مع ناسا.
المرات بجمعة بيندعك مظبوط.
بتدعكوا. You stress test it.
الغسلة شو عم بيصير.
Yeah. You make sure that everything is correct. You check the logos that they're peeling. You check the seams that they're tearing. All these things are essential.
How did you move من the US على لبنان?
I always wanted to move from the US to Lebanon. I want to get out of the US.
أول شيء تخرجت؟
Yes, تخرجت. Okay. Yeah. Luckily for me and my family, تخرجت. Yes, it was a decision that I had taken. So actually, to kind of cut back to that, أنا تخرجت and I got a job at Alphalete.
Okay.
So this was my sort of like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. But at the time I was freelancing, so I had this full-time job with Alphalete as their designer, and then I also had my freelancing career where I would basically get people through Instagram. I was doing at the time for them logos, and I was doing clothing design. At that time, the business was very rudimentary. It was just design and logos. I moved to Houston, and I arrived, and my car was all fogged up because the humidity is trash. And I'm like, this is my dream, but at the same time, this is not where I see the next 10 years, 20 years of my life. So why waste a single day in a place where you do not see yourself long term? Not because the people weren't great or the company wasn't amazing. It just wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to be here in Lebanon. Funny enough, I hope that people are not cynical about this, but I truly believe that you can make heaven wherever you are. If you have the mindset for it, you have the effort, you try your best. ما بقول لك it's not going to be difficult. نحن مش بأوضاع صعبة، ناس ما عم بيتعذبوا. All of these things I'm aware. ما عايش بلا لا لاند.
أنت يا سنة رجعت؟
رجعت ب 2017 actually.
هلا كمان شغلة إنه مش إنه شوي مش الحال you got the opportunities وكل شيء US but then you came back here.
Correct.
تقريبا من الصفر لأنه
yes,
تقريبا
actually
you don't have
my
the
first client.
هونيك.
Yes, which was Alfleet. When I came back here,
وهون technically إذا قضيت 4-5 سنين حتى لو جيت بالصيفية أو whatever بس منك منخلط بالاندستري وهيك يمكن you don't have the PR, the connections, كل شيء. So هون شو صار؟
So the first thing though, what I did when I came back was I stabilized the business as much as I could. I did 2 months, 3 months working from home. And obviously my idea was, can I maintain some base level of income while I'm in Lebanon? I used to have a spreadsheet. كل مرة بيطلع لي sale بحطها بالspreadsheet. At the end of the month بشوف قد ايه عملت مصاري.
But selling what?
So I was selling designs and I was selling designs, pure design. Clothing design, branding design. Those were my two main services.
Two Lebanese brands?
No, so I don't sell to Lebanese brands, not because I don't want to. If any Lebanese brands would like to work with me, I would be more than happy. We've serviced.
بس ما توجهوا له راسه.
ما توجهوا له. بالعكس. We've actually serviced quite a few Lebanese brands. One of them that I want to give a shout out to is And I. They just launched recently. They're doing phenomenally. They have a pop-up shop right now in Saifi Village. Very proud of the owner. She's done a phenomenal job. Shadi So I just want to put that out there. It's not easy. You will. Yeah. They're definitely doing some amazing stuff. They have had a very strong start. So we do work with Lebanese brands, but it's not a huge part of our business.
Okay.
But we work with predominantly US, UK, Canada-based brands, Australia brands. These are the markets that have movement, that have a lot of need for these kinds of items.
وكيف your formula now? يعني اليوم قبل كنا انه this first client from DMs from tags from whatever يوم جيت على لبنان كتير بعيد عنهم كلهم the market that you actually want find the digital world وكل شيء بس انه especially now I'm gonna say that انه مين انت لما صار فينا نعمل كل شيء بالصين so what is your approach today قبل مثل you said ما كانوا موجودين هالقد هول الماس برودكشن يلا وقت causes are crazy مرات فاليوم كيف تغيرت your formula, your approach, كل شيء.
Yeah. So, Tawfiq, when you asked me, does the entrepreneur start by selling or did he start by the product? And I started the first 5 years of the business with product, learning how to optimize my service. بقعد أنا sometimes and ask myself, what does my consumer want? What do they face? What difficulties do they face in starting a brand? I put down all of the points of pain points. They face the inability to communicate their vision. They face a lack of understanding of the required budget. They face access to quality manufacturers that want to work with them, that have the quality that they want, that have the service that they want. They face a lack of understanding of how to sell product. They face a misunderstanding of fabrics, of technology, of fitting, sizing. So sure, you might look at it, anyone can do this by going on Alibaba, but the need is always going to be there because the manufacturing space is very, very via certain steps and it gets more complex every single day, especially if you want to create something unique. If you want to do a run-of-the-mill brand, you want to go and copy-paste anything you see online, fine. Via Alibaba, it's going to do it for you. You're going to lose your money. You're going to burn your money. Do not choose to go into this space, this industry, if you plan on rehashing other people's concepts. So this is what FittDesign has always been about. To look at the entrepreneur and to say, what is your vision? What is unique about you? What do you want to say to this space that no one else has said? And let's say it in the best possible way. Let's use the most beautiful words to say it.
When it comes to the first impression, لما you're reaching out to someone new, إذا حسيت يعني, the impression comes, let's say you send the website or whatever, usually بينحط هيدا الشيء. The first impression comes from the client section or the portfolio.
So the first impression of how they perceive our business.
مثلا إف بيشتغل مع هول ولا إف شغله حلو.
You know, Tawfiq, we actually don't do client outreach. All of our sales are inbound sales.
هلا.
Yes, but they've actually always been inbound.
Okay.
Not to say that that's the only way, but
can you explain شو يعني?
So inbound basically means that all of the people that are interested in working with us are people that have reached out to us directly with an inquiry for working with us.
Through websites وكل شيء.
Through websites. So we have a website where we have a contact form. We run we have a YouTube channel with over 45,000 subscribers.
شو الcontent?
The content is I teach people how to do what I do so they don't need me. I teach them from A to Z how to start their own brand. I teach them about the fashion business. I teach them about sourcing. I teach them about manufacturing.
This is a type of marketing too.
Of course it's a type of marketing. It's called value creation. Put the value out there. Sell the secret or give the secret out for free and then it'll come back to you. So yes, I've been giving out my secrets for the last 45.
So when it comes, so mainly on YouTube, and when it comes to website and social, you don't run ads, campaigns, no.
So we have our Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have Pinterest, we're very active in all of this. I have a team of 5 graphic designers. Their only job is to create content for me.
Nice.
Create content. I have a team of 2 videographers. Their only job is to film my ugly face and to put it on the internet so that people can get educated about the sports or business. So this in itself is my way of getting inbounds.
But so technically your audience should not, but no, preferably not Lebanese, Middle East. Based on your clientele,
based on my current client base, they tend to be from the markets that I told you about.
بالمنطقة?
I have
like on a big scale.
I have had we do a lot of business in UAE. We do a lot of business.
Compare your experience to US.
In terms
US
of
clients.
You know, the people that we've worked with in Lebanon have been lovely. They have been tremendous and lovely and visionaries وجريئين وبهنيون for taking the risk during these times which people would say are horrible. They have been balls to the wall. They have been doing everything they needed to do. I've had 4 or 5 very successful brands that we've worked with here.
But our approach بالمنطقة, are we trying to make it authentic for the region while copying international brands?
When someone works with me, I never tell them, I always tell them, please ما تجوني أنا بدي أعمل آلو يوغا بس على اللبناني. This is not my style. My style is, what do you see in the market? Who is your customer? Are you targeting only Lebanon? Are you targeting the Middle East? Are you targeting regionally? Or do you want to target your home market first, and then in 2 years you want to go for a regional market? Let's work on that. Let's be professionals. الأمريكان مش أحسن منا. What makes them better than us? ما هينا هون I'm working with these US brands. Let's come up with a concept that is not a rehash of these concepts. Let's come up with something unique. What do we need here? What does the local consumer face that we can help them with? So,
is the formula to produce, to design more profitable than to produce? So, would you rather just design? لأنه مرات إنه production ما بتتخيلها يعني you have to deal with so many people, you have to go back and forth. بتعرف إنه على طول بصير أغراض, returns, قصص, شغلة, shipping, إمتى وصل, إنه كل هالقصص. And then designs, you work, أكيد في شهر يمكن شغل, you submit the file وخلصت عندك. On a time base and profit base, أي أكتر لك؟
Very good question as well. Sophia and I was just at a trade show in Germany last week. This trade show is consisting of 10 massive halls. Massive, they're huge. It's the biggest sportswear trade show in the world. It's called ISPO. If anyone was interested, ISPO. 7 out of 10 of those halls are the retail brands. Solomon, Canada Goose, Porio Armani, EA7, all of the big brands. They have the most extravagant booths. They have the most high-end decor. The other 3 are for the manufacturers. معترين كل واحد عنده small booth. أنجا منيح اللي جايب معه luggage he made it there. هلا that disparity shows you the money is in retail. The money is not in design. Like the big. So the issue that most people tell you it's a headache, and this is something I say, they always tell me, Shadi, is it worth it to get into the industry? Is it worth it to get into sportswear? Is it oversaturated? It's oversaturated if you plan on doing what everyone else is doing. It's oversaturated if you want to rehash the same concept. إذا أنت جاي بدك تشوف هيدا شو عامل بس أنا بدي أعمله على اللبناني, it's oversaturated. But if you come tell me, I'm going to do something truly unique, I'm going to add value to the market, I have this plan, this strategy, it's not oversaturated. So we see it's oversaturated because so many people get into the business and they fail. They fail because they don't have what it takes to see it through. It's not like any other business. The fashion business, unlike a side hustle, like so few people start a side business of media production, right? But so many people are willing to go into the fashion business because it's sexy. But what makes it sexy is also what makes it a trap if you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
How can you sustain this أنا براند مثلا حنحكي على لبنان هلا أنا في سمي بس ما ضروري بس مثلا اليوم اجت فترة with all my respect بعد ما قعدت ولا مرة وما بس مثلا وينر فورس طلعته then حدا تاني طلعته هلا so خبرية السستينابيليتي بالبراند مثلا you say Gymshark بعدنا لهلا Gymshark is a big deal إنه ما في إنه مفروض ما يكون في ups and downs when you're creating this brand and going on a big scale. بلبنان it's a smaller market مفروض you can be dominating أحسن. شو بيصير هلا حكينا example بس in general to sustain, how can you sustain, what should these people do to sustain the brand؟ يعني إذا مثلا إنه ما بعرف إنه جربوا البرودكتس بعد، لأنه you mentioned it كله عم يعمل نفس الشيء اللي هو influencer marketing make them feel إنه هذا، بس مشكلة إنه كلهم عم يجيبوا نفس الناس. so صار الناس are actually questioning about هول الناس are they doing it لأنه they like the shirt ولا لأنه كل الناس عم تبعت لهم. يعني do you think إنه صار في a lack of trust بين الكلاينت والبراند من وراء هول over abuse of strategies ولا it's the quality that is bringing them لورا again وعم يجي حدا تاني بيقلع 3-4 أشهر بيرجع كمان بيوقع؟
And I cannot speak for any specific brand. What I'm going to give you is a general statement that could apply to brands in the US كمان or the brands in the UK. The fashion business is a business where the more you give it, the more it can give you back. I find that the entrepreneurs with the mindset of, I'm going to launch a product range and I'm just going to do my initial investment and I'm going to coast on that initial investment. These are the entrepreneurs that do not make it long term. The fashion business needs to continuously be re-updated. You always have to have new collections. You always have to have new events. You always have to have new marketing campaigns, new media campaigns. You always have to be on the website. You always have to have so much movement in this business. It's a dynamic business. Thank God it's a beautiful business to be a part of. But what ends up causing these brands to fail long term is their inability to maintain their consistency through the effort, through how they relaunch, through how they do more campaigns, through how they build the community, through how they innovate. And I find that innovation is the key towards continuously carving out a path for your business. إذا أنت you're just rehashing. Okay, ممكن يكون عندك تقليعة قوية. بس in the long run, if you don't have collection 2, collection 3, collection 4 to follow up, if you're not managing your cash flow, if you're not maintaining good returns on your investment for your advertising spend, if you're not doing all of the mechanics of your business, ما حيكون عندك longevity. The biggest brands that you see, the Gymsharks, the athletes, these are brands that have been 5-10 years in the making, and only recently did they really explode into what we know them today.
هلا تقريبا في two sections let's say بالsports where you have the section مثلا let's go with the yoga with the leggings. لو ما حكينا عشان بنفوتهم شوي هلا. مثلا sports leggings عندك legging that is produced by that same sports brand that is more for outing, just walking the hooded, and then you have that legging that is for sports.
The performance oriented, yes.
مرات ما في هيدا يعني في brands they just release leggings ما بيتفسر actually is this one is for workouts or not وهيدا. بس my point is مثلا when you go with the sports one إذا صبتها صح والclients have لأنه especially leggings مع البنات أكتر شيء there is specific criteria. يعني إذا ما بتصيبوا لديس legging it's cancelled. يعني
sure, yeah.
فكمان هون then you said no releasing version 2 مرات يمكن it's not good to release new version. مثلا this product is خلص shouldn't you stick to it and keep it like the original one؟ لأنه كتير عم بتصير هاي اوكي مثلا مثل ما قلت leggings نفسه بس version 2 مع pocket بس بركي هالبوكيت إذا حطيت تليفون منا منيحة actually إنه يمكن نزعت الفكرة تبعيته.
We're oversimplifying the fashion space.
Yeah,
we're oversimplifying the fashion space. This is the way that the amateur brands are doing it. Again, the fashion space historically has always been based off of seasonal collections, right? Until you do collections for a variety of reasons. أول شيء, trends change, consumer tastes change, the market is consistently changing. كمان people have a short attention span, right? You might come out strong, you might have one strong season, but season 2, season 3, season 4, people are forgetting you. إجباري. In fashion, you need to have something called product turnover. غصباً عن رقبتك. You need to go, you need to launch your stock, you need to sell through your stock, and you need to launch collection 2, collection 3.
But could it be as simple as new colors?
It could be. We call these restocks. Usually the product, the DNA for any startup brand usually tends to be 2 or 4 collections a year, depending on your budget. The 4 collections should be mainstay collections. Your fall, your winter, your spring, your summer. Each collection should have different products. For example, in fall, you might be launching outerwear pieces. You might be launching hoodies, sweaters, fleece pieces, joggers, comfy shorts. In spring, you might be launching windbreakers. You might be launching layered shorts. You might be launching thermal or base layers. In summer, you might be launching swimwear. You might be launching, low support sports bras. You might be launching tank tops. So each season has its own unique requirements.
When it comes to كمان, you mentioned هذا stock يمكن ما خلص بهالسيزون. هلا I'm gonna mention Zara and they're famous for the شفت a case study about it. I'm sure many are doing it. منو شيء كتير انه جديد. بس بالفتنس اندستري كمان في هيدا الفورمولا اللي مثلا زارا بتعمله انه الستوك اللي بيترجع بيتعدل. يعني مثلا it could be a shirt that becomes a crop top and then they resell it back.
I have heard this before, but I'll be on the lookout the next time I buy my next crop top.
بس is it available in the fitness industry؟ يعني مثلا اليوم الشيرت اللي نرد اللي ما انباع this season بينعمل crop top the next season.
I'm sure you could repurpose it. هلا
this is not your job, I'm assuming. بيكون أكتر.
Zara is a huge company, huge with massive facilities, with massive leverage over to be able to do these things. In the sportswear space, especially most of the brands that we work with, they will not be doing this. Also, their quantities are much less. Zara is creating in the tens of thousands. I promise you, especially in the local market, I doubt any of these brands are coming out with pieces more than 300, 400 per product. At least at one launch. I think even that is considered a lot. By the way, people always say, Shadi, أنا كيف بدي أبيع 300 قطعة؟ كيف بدي 300 قطعة؟ ما في 300 بني آدم or شخص in this market that would want to buy your stuff. It's not about كيف بدي أبيع. It is literally about what do I need to do in order to sell. I always tell people this. I am here in Lebanon against all odds, and I do not struggle with uncertainty over my next sale.
How would you design a legging?
How would I design a legging? Depends. First, I would know what is the legging for. I like that question, and hopefully anyone who wants to design a beautiful legging, a legging that needs to add something to the market, ask yourself, what is this legging for? Who is the customer? Please start off with that. Don't just design a legging, حط لها pockets here. I hate this Frankenstein effect. It's so... doesn't add anything to us. It doesn't add this texture to the product. Ask yourself, who is the customer? Okay, I will go through it. My customer is, she's a 20-some-year-old and she has some small extra income. Maybe she works a job, she lives with her family at home. She likes the big brands like Lululemon, she likes Aloe, she likes the quality of the fabrics. She lives a dynamic lifestyle, she's a socialite, she likes to go out. She wants her leggings to be able to be versatile, to be able to put them with more casual pieces, more formal pieces. She wants to dress them up, dress them down. Most likely she's going to be wearing her leggings in yoga, to cycling. Maybe she might go hiking with them. She values more comfort from her leggings rather than performance and rigidness. So this is me profiling my customer. Then from there, I would obviously go into the fabric first. I would ask myself, what type of fabric do I want? Do I want a fabric that's more soft? Do I want a fabric that's more compressive? Do I want a fabric that's more peached? Like, does it have a cottony feel or does it have a slick feel? Do I want a fabric that's more matte, more shiny? I'll figure that fabric out.
Is the material كمان the problem? يعني مثلا يوم you might find out that this material is very good for this legging. بس بيجي بيقول لك الفاينل decision maker من client like okay بس أنا I don't have access to mass quality of this tissue. You have to figure out a way ما بعرف غير material.
So if they're working with us, are they working with us in this case? I always say الدنيا بتكبك لا FittDesign بتلمك. We will always have a solution. نحن we're geared to working with startups. So we have a wide variety of fabrics that are available in small quantities with super high quality. Because that's what we do. My target has always been startups that don't have access.
What makes a legging كمان legging لأنه بسمع كتير يعني شغلتين. هيدي أكتر شغلتين بسمعها when it comes to first impression on the legging. من فوق يلك من تحت على الرجلين يلك. يعني this is one of the first nightmares for girls لما بيشتروا إنه هالطاجات there should not be here يعني. In terms of design, what is missing out بهذا الموضوع?
So basically what you're talking about is the rollover effect of the legging. The rollover effect can come from a variety of different scenarios. Obviously, the fabric is too soft and too supple. It will fold on itself. Two, if it's not fitted correctly, right? Basically, if it's too high, literally right at the point where it hits that crease in your belly button, it's going to fold over. At the same time, you need to know that different body types are different. You can never avoid this 100% with all fabrics. If I want to avoid it, me, I would pick a fabric that's very compressive, that has a lot of compression that's going to stick. You could try come in. There's waistbands that have a small finish at the top. It's like a double needle stitch. تيجي هيك مثل a band, and it helps the waistband stick closer to the skin. The drawback of that one is it creates a small ridge, which is not very visual. Okay. Most people like the waistband to be very flat. Or I would fuse the waistband. There's something called fusing, where the waistband is laser cut and then they put this like compression fusing into it. The disadvantage of that is it can be quite compressive. Provides a beautiful shape to the body, but it can be quite compressive. The ideal scenario is pick the right fabric, do the right fit.
Well, when it comes to sizes, كمان بالleggings they're very on point. في standard sizes for production.
Of course, there's a standard size. When it comes to a legging is a legging, right? هلا أكيد بتفرق depending on the fabric, especially with garments that are cut close to the skin. You can notice so much more variety. So we do a type of legging called seamless and a type of legging called cut and sew. Anyone here who's into leggings will know what a seamless legging is versus a cut and sew. Cut and sew is like your Lululemon Align legging. Seamless is like the Athlete Amplify. If you put them over each other, they're both the same size, but the seamless legging, because the fabric stretches a lot more, it's much smaller.
ما هون كان سؤال إنه ليه بنسمع كتير على طول medium تبع هالبراند غير medium هيدا البراند.
Yeah, it comes down to هلا this can be one of two things. Either it's the fabric or the brand made a mistake.
في شيء هلا كتير عم بيضج أكتر وأكتر oversized t-shirts for training وكل شيء. في two concepts شوي غلط بالموضوع. Actually one main concept. When it comes to design. A design of an oversized t-shirt, let's agree وهلا بدي تفسرنا هو شيء. وإذا أنت بتلبس عادة large جيبوا triple X large doesn't make it an oversized
no,
t-shirt.
it doesn't. Yeah.
في ناس حتى بيبيعوها هيك. بيكون إنه it's a bigger size.
So, I've never seen that before.
It's a thing. فإنه what makes the cut different and the design of an oversized.
Cool questions. So, for example, into the t-shirt that you're wearing, I would call this a relaxed fit.
Okay.
أول شيء, the shoulder itself is not a drop shoulder. With an oversized t-shirt, the shoulder must be dropped.
Okay.
The drop is what gives that slouchy effect.
شو بيكون لما ما في الزيح اللي هون؟
لا بيكون في زيح. This is called the sleeve set seam.
Okay.
We basically drop it a little bit, maybe like 2 or 3 inches. This gives it that slouchy effect. Anna, if I took this t-shirt right now, what size is it?
Large.
And I gave you a triple XL, right? It would be too long on you.
So.
Sure, it might fit correctly on the on the arms because it would be the right length, on the chest maybe, but it would be too long for you. So an oversized t-shirt is cut with a drop shoulder. It's cut at their specific length. It's cut with the right neckline.
حتى the sleeves are a bit
of course, yes.
Longer, yeah.
Some measurements, like for an oversized t-shirt عم تحكي انت yours is probably 22 inches on the chest. For your size on an oversized t-shirt عم تطلع 26.5.
عم تحس مثل عيونك بتعرف you open the app and you calculate. حسيت هيك.
That's what's happening. I am AI right now, by the way. This is not Shadi, this is AI. This is ChatGPT.
بس ليه ضجت هالاد؟
It's a trendy cut.
معناته it has been there for a long time يعني.
It's a trendy cut. الدنيا
مريحة.
You know, I don't wear oversized t-shirts. I design a lot of them.
عم نحكي for workouts.
They wear them as pump covers over the... So usually, in the US, you'll wear a stringer and then you'll put the oversized t-shirt. The idea is, you're warming up, especially in the hotter months. You wear the oversized t-shirt, you warm up, you get the blood pumping. وبعدين you show the world جسدك يا أسد. طلع الاوفرسايز تي شيرت وهيك.
ايه ونفس الشيء بالهوديز. شو وضع الهوديز بهذا الموضوع؟
كمان the idea is like هلا كمان all of this stuff is a trending social media look of like the hoodie and the arc, the villain arc with the hood on top. Man, social media is an interesting place, and the products that really do well become part of the social media phenomenon, right? You see the influencers wearing them; they become a part of the fabric.
Especially when they're releasing their own clothing.
Yeah.
إنه صاروا هن بيعملوا their own clothing وبيضلوا لابسينها. يعني مثلا إذا بنحكي اليوم هلا ما بعرف إذا عم عمل shirts أو قصة بس he made a lot of accessories مثلا.
Who's this?
Larry Wheels مثلا.
Who?
Larry Wheels. He got famous لأنه بالpower lifting بصير بيشيل أوزان insane بطريقة إنه يقلع زي. مهم.
Show me like wrist straps and stuff.
And all these numbers that are videos shared indirectly.
Yeah.
هو لابسهم.
For sure.
وعم بيشيلهم. I think كان اسمها PR merch أو شيء هيك. بلبنان ما بقى في حدا ما شفته عنده يوم لهالدرجة. It's just the fact وما حاطط شيء إنه he's using them. Obviously he has a boutique يعني on the website. بس indirectly هذا الماركتينج بيبيع
100%.
بس هون بدنا نحكي عن شيء لأنه عم نحكي عن content. قبل كنا نحكي كتير انستغرام. Is TikTok affecting the market more than Instagram lately?
Depends on your market segment. The markets that typically have younger viewers, definitely TikTok is doing very, very well. Also, by the way, user-generated content on TikTok is much more effective than the brand's content on TikTok. So you see, Young LA is one of the huge clients we work with. They're very popular with the young demographic. I'm sure they're well known here. All of their influencers tend to be between 18 and 23, 24. they create the content for Young LA. هلا أكيد it's part of the Young LA's budget, but it's not Young LA that's doing the content themselves on TikTok. So what I'm seeing on TikTok is the user-generated content that has other brands included in a very subtle way. This is the content that does well because people don't want to feel like they're being sold to.
هيدا قصدي يعني يمكن we over abuse the strategies معينين. So مثلا لما بنحكي عن هولي type of content الناس ما بتعرف يعني مثلا لما انه unboxing انه guys I received today this box او مرات هلا صار في كتير بيعملوا with AI voices. Check this.
I tune out whenever I see whenever I hear the AI voice. Personally for me.
فكمان هون it was this thing. A day when it comes to budgeting on a final aspect يعني on sales level مش انت as just producing it for a client but when it comes to full rounded أنا عطيتني what I want in terms of design. I got the right manufacturer وصلت لكل شيء. كيف بساعد this product?
Good question as well. This is some so pricing comes down to one main thing: your cost of goods sold. You need to know your cost of goods sold. Your cost of goods sold is your all-in cost of direct costs related to that product. Your design cost, your prototyping cost, your actual cost of the fabric, the labor, the shipping cost to get it to your warehouse ready to ship. هذه اسمها your COG. If you're selling direct to consumer, so you're selling through your website directly to the customer. B2C, right? Like most of the brands nowadays, your cost should be minimum 4x. This is the formula. But there's two other factors that determine your retail price. أول شيء, what's your market positioning? أنت, for example, Lulu sells their leggings at $120. They probably make them for $25. Let's just say even $20. $25 is very excessive, very, very excessive. And that's because they have massive pull. That's expensive $20. But they're not selling them for only 4x. They're selling them for almost 6x. They're doing that because their market positioning is a premium brand. Anna, today, if I took two brands of the same caliber, Lulu and Fufu, right? Fufu is a very amazing brand. And I put them next to each other. But I priced Fufu at $45. And I priced Lulu at $120. They are identical, the same. What would have a better brand perception? A better product perception if I told you the prices?
I would go to 25.
You would go to the 25? To the 45, قصدك?
45.
But maybe you're being conscious of the budget. But I told you what is a higher quality.
Expensive.
What would your would your mind perceive it, right?
Expensive.
I know they're the same thing. So brand positioning and the price that you charge also comes down to your brand positioning. If you want to be a value-based brand, of course you cannot charge luxury prices.
You know what's funny about this? لأن زي ما نروح على I figured out recently. When you take, for example, an Audi Q8 with Lamborghini Urus, they share a lot of the same parts.
Almost identical.
But you're buying the experience of Lamborghini.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, the design. بس إنه في فرق 500,000.
Yeah, I haven't checked my Lamborghini prices in a minute, بس هلا بروح على الشوروم.
فإنه كمان زي you want to compare it.
Yeah.
إنه that same
idea.
Textile design. هون السؤال. وين بيروح a part of the budget to make this brand feel and look luxurious?
Marketing. So your marketing is part of your brand positioning. أكيد عندك in the design, in the packaging. So you cannot have a strong product without a good packaging experience. Imagine you get something into what's your favorite thing to splurge money on? Cameras, okay? Let's just say you got a red Raven, right? And your red Raven arrived.
No big G.
You got your red Raven in like some dingy DH gate box. دافع حقها $15,000.
صح.
متشتشة. Man, you're like, there's something wrong with this. It's the same camera, but there's something wrong with the packaging. There's something wrong with the customer experience. Like there's something weird about this. So part of the areas that I find brands they skimp out on is the packaging. Man, the packaging is the first thing you touch and feel. You need to set the right tone with the customer. Then it comes down to the marketing. Man, these brands اللي بيعملوا the Milan fashion show, the Paris fashion show, بيعملوا all these large advertising campaigns in New York, this is part of your brand perception. You need to spend money in the fashion space to put yourself in the right position.
What made lately it's a bit controversial, but I don't know who cares. What made Yeezy famous, Kanye or Adidas?
I'm speaking from an outsider. I'm not like the Yeezy expert, to be honest.
No, we're gonna take the side. So yeah. Yeezy is technically the influencer. Okay, he designed it, but he's the more influential side.
Yes, yes.
Adidas is the money,
Yes.
the marketing, the budget.
So I've looked at Yeezy a little bit. Funny enough, like you mentioned Yeezy, like I studied the brand a little bit. Kanye is a very interesting type of designer because I genuinely feel that he wants to create something unique. He wants to say something new in the space, which is, in my opinion, a prerequisite for making good product. There has never been a brand that has excelled in the space without the entrepreneur wanting to say something new, wanting to challenge the status quo, wanting to say, la, just because we've done things this way doesn't mean we continue to do things in this way. So for him, it was about challenging the way that footwear is designed, the way it's developed, the way it's produced. I'm sure you've seen him in the wave runners, or for him, this is an idea of how do I create a laceless shoe that is extremely ergonomic. Sure, visually it might be polarizing, probably on purpose. So actually it comes down to not only Kanye's influence, but also the product itself. I think the product and the honest intentions behind designing the product and developing the product are what has allowed his product category to excel, not just his name. There's so many influencers, there's so many celebrities that come out with products that are half-assed and they don't do well because you can tell it's a cash grab.
But it's crazy انه عم نحكي صباط as soon as released black market double مرات.
Yeah.
انه
like
يعني
why?
It's exactly. So you ask yourself why. انه في ناس كتير would consider it انه هيدا بس صباط. بس هون نرجع موضوع. قد ايه في ناس that are picky and obsessed with fitness clothing.
Yeah, a lot. There's 7 billion people in this world. There's more than you expect. When you go into any business and you say there's not enough people to sustain or to buy from me, and I believe this is a mindset that puts you in a form of scarcity, in a form of there's not enough in this world so I can reap. The idea is this: there's 7 billion people. There's 3.5 billion people of each gender approximately. You can always narrow it down to a specific market, even in Lebanon. If you look at your total addressable market, it's much bigger than what you assume. The issue is most people, they go into it ما حتمشي ما حتزبط ما حب اسم الله there's so many people, there's so many successful businesses that have come out of the dust, the ruins, by sheer tenacity and sheer force of will.
بس شو السر انه اليوم مثلا انه still لهلا if I want to go to a mall رح لاقي نايكي واديداس وبوما بس Lebanese brands are unable to open a shop. يعني كله بعده on the formula of I'm assuming obviously it's cost efficient way بس على الفورمولا تبعيت لأنه هيدي كمان مشكلة كتير كبيرة إنه كتير of clients I need to try it before buying. إنه بيخافوا بعضهم من حتى لو إنه فيك ترد بس بتقول إنه 5 days لرد وارجع أجيبه خلص إنه خلص. فكمان فكرة إنه ليه إنه زد because of إنه هو الكوست الإكسترا ولا نحن تعودنا أكتر على فكرة إنه online shop.
I think it's fear. أول شيء the market is very early. عن جد the market is still not mature. I'm تحكي 5 years since the first local brand came out, right? Even probably less than that. 4 years, 3 years. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. The market still has not developed to the point where these brands أول شيء بشطارتهم can continue to improve, to scale up, to capture a bigger part of the market. كمان the Lebanese consumer is changing. They're changing their buying habits. They're changing their trust towards online brands. They're changing their understanding of what brands to buy, what brands not to buy. نحن عنا mentality if it's in Lebanon or it's a Lebanese brand, it's inferior for some reason. Not realizing that these brands, at least the ones we work with, they're made in the same factories, even better factories, with better fabrics than the brands that you look up to, like Lululemon. Like at least if you're working with FittDesign, the quality is superior. Sure, هلا إذا بتقول صناعة وطنية ما في شيء apparel bar maybe I think Winterforce does some of their stuff here but all their fabrics are imported.
بس هون نجي هذا الموضوع الأساسي بالماركتينج قد ايه unethical to promote these clothes and say انه it's local بس لأنه the founders are local.
I don't know which brands say that. هلا again I cannot speak for specific brands. I think Winterforce definitely are doing some of their products here. I don't know. I'm speaking from...
I don't know if they're promoting انه local.
Yeah.
بس no in general I have seen it a couple of times وحتى انه especially هلا لما صار في قصة انه تقاطع براندات معينة وهيك so many انه support local بس how can you define local? Is it بس the fact that the owner is local ولا انه a brand is local لانه عم بتشغل ناس هون لتعمل designs الكل شيء لانه كتير هون وصل هذا الموضوع job shipping is confusing people يعني صار الكل انه من ورا job shipping بس انه كأنه ترند وعم تنعمل بطريقة شوي غلط
Yeah.
وعم تنزع كمان سوق بغير قصص. So هون موضوع إنه how do you
Define what
how
is...
dare would you promote your brand as
Yeah.
local based on what?
Tawfiq, are you a local media creator?
To a certain extent.
Okay. But sure, are you local? Would you say you're local?
إيه بس أنا هون الشغلة. I'm providing a service.
Yeah.
I'm not providing a product.
Sure. بس إنه
Can I say my product is local?
Can you say your product is local, man? Your videos that you create, they're all created using imported products. You have imported lights, you have imported cameras, imported... At the end of the day, بدك تمشي حالك with what you have available. The sportswear space, there's a lack of availability of fabrics, there's a lack of availability of packaging materials. Entrepreneurs want to work, especially the brands that are coming up now, بهنيون. They're doing their best. So I would say yes, if they want to say support local, for sure. Especially if you are providing a great product, a great value, and you're targeting the right customer, أكيد. Support local. I'm going to support local. Why not?
يعني you did the conclusion. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. I think بعد في قعدات كتير to dig down. يعني الناس لازم تعرف قصص هيك. بس again, go to his channel. You'll find all the answers meanwhile. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome. Thank you, Tawfiq.